hello for the first time or welcome back. Whichever one applies to you, that's the intro I want you to use for this video. We are back with DC, but this is Knightfight. Alright, so we're on issue 3, a lot happens, let's just jump into it. So if you remember, Batman in the last issue turned himself in the clay phase. Go listen to that if you did not see it. Okay, now he's fighting Red Hood Batman on top of this rooftop and he accidentally knocks him off, and this would have, killed him because the ground is irradiated with all of this Joker radiation, and that would have killed him, but he grabbed him and saved him. And he's like, you really think you are Batman? You saved me. And that's when he's like, I'm not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you believe I am. I just want to help you. I just want to be there for you. Because he just says, even if you don't believe I'm Bruce, if you believe I'm Basil, it doesn't matter. I'm staying here with you. I refuse to leave you here by yourself. Let's figure this out and get us both out of this world together. And that's exactly the moment that the Heart of Apocalypse loses it. You're cheating! And he tells him, you are supposed to be fighting them. And that's when Batman says, I'm not going to fight them. And he goes, okay, we're going to make this harder and harder. You need to understand what's happening on the other side. They're losing. Joker is winning. And the Heart kind of starts to spin a deal a little bit, because the Heart, I don't know if he just wants good TV, but he's like, listen, if you do what I say, I'll bring you back. And he goes, but these next tests are going to be much more difficult. I will test you in ways that are not physical. I will test your mind and your heart. And that's when we cut over to Tim Drake Batman. And I like this suit. I wasn't sure if I was going to, but it looks really dope. And he's almost solving like literally a clue. It's like we walked into a Agatha Christie novel with Batman, which quickly turns into the guy that was the murderer trying to take someone hostage, and then he uses this amazing like digital bat hard light construct that just attacks the guy. And of course, because it's Tim, this guy's getting a stick to the face. And then that's when this person says, Batman, you've solved every crime. That's what would happen if Tim Drake became Batman. He would solve all the crime. Because the interesting part is, Batman, Bruce Wayne, the Batman that we're following, he's not in this scene. This is like purely for the audience. So it's just letting us know that if Tim Drake is the best Batman. And that's when we cut back over to the Batcave, and we see Tim is having a conversation with some of the Bat family, and they're like, hey, we just solved another case, come on, let's go celebrate. And he's like, no, I have something else to figure out. But that's when he notices that there's some binary on his screen. And Tim is almost having fun with this kind of. He's trying to figure out how somebody has hacked the Bat computer. It's not a long time that they've done that. Who could have had the capability of doing that? And as he's talking and trying to figure out how to get this hacker out of his system, there's a mech slowly walking up behind him. But come on, this is Tim. He's known that thing was walking for about 2 minutes. And Tim starts fighting this thing, and it's Bruce Wayne inside of it, our Bruce, and he's saying, no, wait, Tim, wait, listen to me. And Tim doesn't believe it because obviously it's a mech, so he doesn't believe that it's really Bruce. It's just some rogue AI, or it's some computer virus, something trying to hurt him. But that's not what was happening. Actually, he was trying to distract him so he can get a hold of the hologram technology so he could show up right there. And it turns out that Batman has been trapped in a digital form this entire time, and it just took him a moment to gain control of himself to be able to interact with the system so that he could create this digital hologram of himself. Very Batman. Don't worry about it. And he just says, I want you to know how proud I am of you. You dedicated yourself to not only solving crime in Gotham, but solving Gotham itself. You're smarter than I've ever been. You're a better Batman than I am. And that's when Tim just goes, why can't I solve your murder? And Batman says, because you didn't want to. And Tim takes down his cowl and he's like, what? Come on, whether you're an AI or real, you wouldn't say something like that. And that's when Batman says, yeah, you knew who did it, but you didn't want to solve it, because if you solved it, that meant that it was over. It always being an unsolved case meant that it was always there. And then that's when Batman literally picks up his own crime photo and shows it to him, and he goes, "What's missing out of this?" And he realizes it immediately, knows exactly who it is, and he goes, "We solved it. You beat me." And they go, "Let's catch him." But then right as they were about to figure out some kind of way to work together, Batman gets zapped out of the story. And that's when the Heart is just pissed, and it's like, you were supposed to fight him, not try to help him. And Batman's like, "I'm going to find my own way. I am not going to fight my kids." Oh man, and we get this amazing page here where the Heart is basically saying, "I will break you. I'm going to send everybody you love at you, and I will figure out how to break you." And that's when the Heart of Apocalypse has an idea. And we see a very old man Bruce waking up in bed. And he's like, "What's going on?" And he's in what looks like Crime Alley, but everything is great. Gotham looks wonderful. Gotham kind of looks like Metropolis. And that's when we hear a voice off panel that says, "I saved Gotham, Father." And it's Damian Wayne. And what's really interesting about this is that he's not Batman in this moment. He doesn't have to be Batman anymore. And then something even worse happens, because he says, "I know I'm not real. I'm too smart to not know. This world is not real. It's like I can see this reality's cracks in my peripheral vision. Whatever built it made me too smart, too much like what I imagine the real me is like. This is all part of some sort of cosmic contest. You are real. This was made to manipulate you." And Bruce is just like, "Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Of course, my blood would do that." And that's when get the final page bombshell, because Damian's like, "I just want you to know what's at stake for me. If we basically get you out of here, which would probably destroy that universe, like this illusion would go away." But he's conscious, sentient? I don't understand. But we turn the page, and this is your grandson. His name is Alfred. Oh, right in the feels. But we're going to have to figure out what happens in the conclusion. That's going to be next month. That's going to do it for this issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Go drink water, do something kind, and I'll see you next time. Peace.